Jalen Jacoby, what is
dog?
it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Jalen Hurts and the Eagles beat the Saints. We've got KD and Kyrie on the court at the same time in the same uniform form. But we start with where football ended last night, and that is with the Buffalo Bills beating the Steelers, handing them their second straight loss after being undefeated. Are the Bills a legit threat to the Chiefs in the AFC, Jalen Rose?
I think the Chiefs are head and shoulders the best team in football, but Buffalo is amongst those 3 or 4 teams that if somebody's going to upset KC or find a way to win the AFC, I think they're in that conversation. And a lot has to do with the combination of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. When you look back at Minnesota, yeah, you get Jefferson in the draft, but imagine if you keep Diggs with Thielen and Cook, and then you add an asset versus losing one. But Buffalo did exactly what you should do for a young quarterback. Surround them with weapons. Yep. And that's exactly what Stephon Diggs is. He gets you double-figure catches, 130 yards, and he scores at pay dirt, so he's been terrific for them all season.
Josh Allen looked absolutely great last night, and the Steelers' defense did not, and a lot of that has to do with health. We know that they had some injury problems early in the seasons, but the injuries just keep stacking up. When you see all of these key players, 4 linebackers injured, do you think they can maintain this and go on a run in the playoffs?
And by no means am I making excuses for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but people looked at their record but underestimated how many people they continue to lose defensively that are impact players. And also the identity of their team. The reason why, like I said, you could switch Eric Spoelstra and Mike Tomlin really is their identity, Jacoby, is going to be to play physical defense and run the football. Okay? They haven't been able to run the football. If you notice, we ain't talking about Connor. We ain't talking about their run game. It's because it has not been there consistently all season, in particular these last couple of weeks. And now it highlights other weaknesses of the offense, like the drop passes.
Got to catch the ball. Got to catch the ball. Ben Roethlisberger is not throwing the ball downfield. These are short throws, and they're still not being brought in by the receivers week after week after week. Now, Jalen, there's something that happened before the game that you wanted to discuss, and it's Juju Smith-Schuster doing what?
Well, it surprised me that, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a storied franchise like only a few in the NFL, usually they do less and say more. And it actually surprised me when I realized that Juju continued to go to midfield on the opponent's logo and do his modern-day Terrell Owens impression. And again, when you guys are undefeated, I assume that the organization is like, okay, cool, we're going to roll with this since we don't want to break, our win streak. But you can't tell me that Mike Tomlin or somebody else in that franchise hasn't told him, hey, dog, that ain't what we do here. And so when I saw that, I knew Buffalo would be motivated. And the difference is some of the other teams aren't good enough to beat you, in particular when you have injuries and when you're dropping the ball, when you're not running the ball. But the Buffalo Bills are, and they're ascending. So it's going to be interesting to see if this continues pregame on the road for the rest of the year.
Jalen, when I predicted the Lakers would win the championship, and they did, I patted myself on the back. And when I predicted that the Heat would beat the Bucks, and they did, I patted myself on the back. Well, guess what? When you do this for a living, you don't bat 1,000. Here is me from Friday talking about Jalen Hurts playing the Saints. Please, Doug Peterson, do not put this man out to start at quarterback. Well, I was very wrong about Jalen Hurts' performance against the Saints. He threw the ball well. He ran for over 100 yards, and the Eagles upset the Saints. I was wrong. I want to apologize not just to Jalen Hurts and the Hurts family, but Eagles fans and all Jalens across the globe. I will never doubt a Jalen again. What did you think about Hurts' performance against the Saints?
Your brother is Jalen Rose the first. And I tried to tell you, dog, that name is a superpower. Didn't I tell you? Who covered up the onside kick late in the game? Jalen Mills. Dog, I'm trying to tell you, what we're seeing from Taysom Hill looks really good. but he started on special teams, and he does a terrific job of being a Swiss Army knife. But even though he almost threw for 300 yards, give Hurts credit. He ran for over 100, the second most in the debuts other than Lamar Jackson. Like, they had over 400 yards offense. Sanders had a big run out of the backfield, an 80-yard scamper for a TD. Like, their offense played better, which created better balance for their defense. I keep trying to tell you, and you should know this, never underestimate the heart of a Jalen. I just don't understand why you of all people would do that. I saw other media pundits like, oh, he may not be ready. Why? Have y'all watched football? Like, Saturday is now playing on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday in a lot of ways offensively. Hurts embodied that in a quality win over the Saints and that tenacious defense. Quality win.
That defense always pressures the quarterbacks, always gets sacked. Jalen Hurts used that against them. He would just get out of the pocket and just go. He looked great against the Saints, and something tells me that Carson Wentz will not be starting for the Eagles anytime soon
when you out of here
of the year. Well, Jalen, we talked about the Chiefs being the best team in the NFL, and they once again went on the field and got a W. This time it was against the Dolphins and a good Dolphins defense. Jalen, what did you see from the Chiefs yesterday?
With my homies is what I see when I watch them play, except he threw 3 interceptions, and that surprised me. But you know what really stands out more than anything is that they're just faster than everybody else. Look at these highlights. Like, look at the cheetah. Like, seriously, dog. He got 16 touchdowns this year. Travis Kelce getting open all over the field. Look at these plays, dog. We ain't even showing McCole Hardman. He got a special teams touchdown. By the way, the Dolphins played really good, Jacoby. They play really good football. But these dudes are just on another level when they turn it up.
Yep, the Dolphins had a lead, but at no point was I ever concerned about this game if I am a Chiefs fan. And you mentioned those 3 interceptions, and I found that was curious. I mean, Mahomes doesn't normally throw interceptions like that. I mean, I think he had 2 on the season coming into the game, but he threw 3 in this one. And Jalen, I also believe that the Chiefs are head and shoulders the best team in the NFL. It's the Chiefs and it's kind of everybody else. But there's one thing I do want to point out, and that is the margin of victory for the Chiefs recently. In their past 5 games, they have won just by 1 possession or less. Look at that. 2 points by the Panthers, 4 points by the Raiders, 3 points over the Bucs, 6-6. Jalen, is this cause for concern that they're not dominating games, they're just squeaking out victories?
And you did a good job of acknowledging this with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and before you know it, we look up and they've lost 2 in a row. But this is different, Jacoby, and the reason why is when you're so very talented like KC, sometimes you start trying stuff. And my bad, Demetrius, I should have had you cut this. That one play just came to mind. When Mahomes just ran back like 30 yards and took a sack.
Oh, yeah, took a sack.
Dog, he was trying
35-yard sack.
Right. Did you see that?
It looked like Madden.
He was just trying stuff. It reminded me of that video of Lamar Jackson when they was jet skiing and playing sand football outside, and his homie tackled him into the jet ski. It was just like he was trying stuff, dog. They know that they could take it to another level. But give the Dolphins credit. Anytime you're going to pick off Mahomes 1, 2, 3 times in the same football game, that says a lot about the growth of their defense.
It really does. And Jalen, we witnessed something over the weekend that we've been waiting for over a year, and that is this. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on the same team, in the same uniform, on the same floor. What did you think of the debut of Kyrie and KD?
The first thing that comes to mind is usually when a player returns from an Achilles injury, he doesn't have the amount of time for recovery that KD did. And since he almost had 552 days to when the season is going to start, now he get a chance to ease himself into his greatness. And the league is going to be in a terrific place this year, Jacoby. LeBron is defending champion, playing on the big stage in LA. Kawhi is going to come back with a vengeance. Steph Curry is back. KD is back. And you mentioned teaming up with Kyrie. They're going to put on a show for the fans of Brooklyn, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Eastern Conference race plays out.
Jalen, as interesting as it was to watch them play on the court together, it was more interesting to watch them discuss their post-up strategy on Instagram Live. Let's listen to Kyrie and KD on Instagram.
What you are now That's what I'm up here. Same mentality. I'm getting to a spot. I'm raising up. I'm getting to a bucket. My footwork is impeccable. I have length. I'm able to shoot over top, hold the follow through, and I don't see people. Do you not feel the same way?
I do sometimes, but I'm just saying I don't think that's good for the continuity of our offense if our point guard always want to be underneath the rim. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That can come off. That can come off.
You get what I mean?
I do. You're right. That can come off like I'm trying to implement myself. Just okay. So what about 7 post-ups instead of 8?
I have so many questions. Like, I was you in a past life, and he wants to post up 7 or 8 times a game, and he doesn't even hang up the pictures in his own house. Like, hang up the pictures in your house, Kyrie. That's step number 1. Jalen, your thoughts on this curious exchange from Kyrie and KD?
My first thoughts is I'm glad the NBA ain't testing. Because Tanner, if they were, that would definitely be a failed test. No doubt about it. Like those guys right there, that vibe, Kyrie got his legs crossed on his Phil Jackson Zen. I love that we can actually get behind the curtain and hear these conversations amongst 2 of the greatest scorers in the league. Like, one of the things that Kyrie Irving has done, because some of the things that come out of his mouth, that people underestimate the fact he's a truly gifted ball handler and scorer. Probably the most talented guy at his position at getting a bucket, along with Dame Lillard. Like, he'll put you on skates. But the thing I truly like about this also, Jacoby, is this is something that it seems like they should be talking about on FaceTime, not on IG Live.
Yes.
And so since they're discussing it on IG Live and they want to bring us behind the curtain, let's talk about some of the things that we heard. One, I assume that if Kyrie could do these, that he's not going to be getting fined $20,000 again no more by the league. And the Nets won't be getting fined because it's a lot cheaper if you just talk to the media. And Dame Dollar was in those comments telling them to do just that.
Yep.
But the other thing, it seems like that Kevin Durant is doing something that he's probably done with a young point guard, i.e. Russell Westbrook, before in his past life, is that, hey, dog, you still are the point guard. Like, I know you got all of these other skills to get buckets, but you're still the point guard. It was great commentary. I'm glad we got a chance to check that out.
I have so many questions. I love KD. He's like, somewhere Steve Nash saw this clip. Somewhere Steve Nash saw this. It's like, wait, what now? Like 8 post-ups for Kyrie Irving? And then he's like, no.
Good post game.
What about 7? And then KD later was like, no, it's going to be 2.5 post-ups, 2 real post-ups, and 1 where I throw it to you and you just throw it right back to me. I like that. But he's like, no. He's like, I'll throw it to you, but you just throw it right back to me. That's how this is going to work moving forward. I'm so excited for this Nets season, and I'm also excited to break down more from the Sunday in football. Make sure you stay coming to you live from Pier 17 in the South Street Seaport District of Manhattan, and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, there's a lot to discuss, so we need to get through it quickly. It is time for Keep It Moving. If you would like to discuss the topic, say hit the brakes. If not, me, you, and Method Man jump in the minivan and keep moving. And we start with the Vikings losing to Tom Brady and the Bucs. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Tom Brady and the Bucs look pretty good in offense, but Dan Bailey missed 4 kicks in the game. Jalen, what was wrong with Dan Bailey?
First off, that had a huge impact on how this game was being played. They had a few good drives, and him missing those kicks and those extra points really helped keep Tampa in the game, in my opinion. But I want to make sure, Jacoby, I send this out for everybody that's looking for a job opportunity. Each time I watch football on every Sunday, most of the kickers look like you. Just like all of the running backs used to look like me. There are some openings for jobs at the kicker position, young players of all backgrounds. I know that that's probably not the position that seems to be most glamorous. I know if one of your parents is the coach, you the quarterback or the running back, but they get paid top dollar. They could do that job for like 20 years and they never get hit.
Jalen, everyone was high on the Giants coming into this weekend, and they got waxed by the Cardinals. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Cardinals put them in their place, dog. Like, it showed that they're trying to be a playoff team while the Giants have outplayed expectations. We'll keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Shout out to Reddick and his 5 sacks. That was crazy. Out there like Derek Thomas or somebody.
The Bears won a football game. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Deshaun's still getting his bread, so it is what it is. Keep it moving.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
I don't know if you noticed, but the Lions were tied with the Packers at 14 apiece.
Hit the break. Hit the break.
And of course, as they always do, they lost to their division rival. Jalen, what is going on with the Lions? Like, what are we really doing here?
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad.
But can I give credit when the credit is due? When I'm watching football on Sundays, if you want to take out all of the weapons of KC, who really are the best triplets? Who are the best triplets yesterday? I'm talking about of the healthy players. The Titans have to be in there, right? You would think not Tannehill, but then you got Brown and you got Henry. But, like, the Green Bay Packers are in there is the point. You saw Devontae Adams? Do you see Aaron Jones out there with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, I did.
They're tough. They're really tough.
Well, the football team named the football team got a big win yesterday. Keep moving and hit the brakes.
Chase Young is a beast. Keep it moving for now. They're going to win that division.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
The Seahawks got a much-needed win against the hapless Jets. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
That's a perfect time to get your numbers. Great job, Seattle. We're not talking about the Jets. Keep it moving.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
We had a big knockout in the heavyweight division in boxing this weekend. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Anthony Joshua is back. He knocked out Kubrat Pulev viciously. Pulev just couldn't take that right hand. He had just gotten up from getting knocked down previously. Jalen, what do you think about this big right hand from Anthony Joshua?
I think that 1-2 motion in the history of the heavyweight division has dropped some of the mightiest men to their backside. Like, literally just watching that, it almost reminded me of George Foreman and Michael Moore. Like, I remember he was training out of Detroit, big shout Double M for that fight. And so, like, as much as the other divisions, and rightfully so, gonna garner our excitement and attention, and shout to Shakur Stevenson, took care of business flawlessly in every round on his way to victory that same night. Seems like it's nothing like that overhand right by the heavyweight champion of one of the greatest heavyweights and a former champion of the world on another man's chin.
It was a great punch, and it came right after the restart from the referee from a previous knockdown. Good fight from Joshua. Look forward to his next fight, and I also look forward to showing you this. We have a dunk in women's college basketball. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Francesca Bellibi did this in the Stanford-Cal game. Check it out, Jalen Rose. Tell me what you see.
Oh, I saw good handles first off. I saw good
crossover, too. One hand.
Single streak. Oh, my goodness.
Didn't even use the second hand to gather it. Clearly got that dunk in. Big shout to Francesca Bellibi. And the crossover to start the possession off, and the Kareem goggles. It was amazing. Jalen, it happened. The Cleveland baseball team changed its name. We'll break that down, and we'll tell you what happened in the fantasy showdown between Jalen and Jacoby. Right after this, make sure you stay tuned. You're watching Jay and Jay. Season continues Thursday night at 9 p.m. It is the Warriors going into Sacramento to take on that man, De'Aaron Fox, and the Kings. Make sure you tune to that on ESPN Thursday night at 9 p.m. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, it has happened. We've been discussing it for quite some time. The Cleveland baseball team will no longer be referred to as the Indians. Do you think teams like the Braves and the Chiefs and some college programs will also follow suit and stop using this term in their team name and mascot?
Ultimately, yes. And for those who feel like it's not offensive, those are the people that need to understand it's not about you. It's about the people that are actually offended. And I am proud to be affiliated with this program because we've called Washington the football team for basically 10 years. And you and I both have said these multiple teams like Cleveland, they gonna change the name. So it may not happen today like Cleveland, but the teams you just acknowledged, at some point, they're going to change the name, as they should.
Yes, it is going to happen over time, so you might as well get in front of it if you are the Chiefs or you are the Braves or you are one of the many college programs that uses a sort of derogatory term as their mascot. Jalen, you and I faced off in fantasy football over the weekend, and I was the #1 seed in the entire Jalen Jacoby league. And what happened in the game, Jay? What happened?
You got knocked out, dog. Like KRS One said, you ever think about when you out of here? See, this is my time of year, dog. I'm the fantasy football veteran and connoisseur of this program. And you had a great regular season. There have been so many teams that had great regular seasons. But it's the second season, dog, and I appreciate if you bow gracefully.
No one cares about our fantasy football teams. I will say that all the time. We'll be back tomorrow, ESPN at 2 p.m. Make sure you...